And now here she is, this very gifted lady, the one and only special Amanda de Warren. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, Joy.
Lovely to meet you at last.
Ah, good to meet you too. I've been looking forward to meeting you as well.
You have a most unusual talent.
I do, don't I? It's very different.
And you were very young when you realised that you had this gift.
I was about 3 years of age.
3?
Mm.
What happened when you were 3?
Oh gosh, I used to be able to communicate with my uncle's farm animals. He lived on a farm, and my auntie and uncle and 5 cousins. There was cows and horses and dogs, and I used to be able to understand what the cows were saying, and I always had an attraction for the animals. And one day,
your uncle must have thought you were bonkers.
He did, until I found one of his missing dogs. He thought I was crazy, and one of his particular special farm animals, one of the farm dogs, went missing, and I knew where to find it. And I
you
knew
were very,
exactly.
very little.
I was
Very
about
little.
4
About
at
4
the
then.
time. Yes.
But you'd already been talking to all the animals around the
I had
place.
a communication with them.
And it was just a natural thing. You thought everybody could do it, I
Well,
suppose.
at 4 you think everybody can, but
Yes.
no, it's not
You think,
actually the case.
Why can't they understand it?
Yeah,
How
I know.
strange.
Yeah.
Right, and what about the pussycat? And
I was about 6 years of age. This is when I really realised I had something. I was about 6 years of age. And she had this lady, I can't remember her name, she had this cat called Franklin. And Franklin was a very big old cat. And one day I went to her house and he had passed away. And I said to her, "No, he hasn't. He's sitting on his chair." And she said, no, he passed away about a week ago.
they buried
and
him,
said,
I suppose.
And she's adamant that he had passed. I said, no, he's sitting there with a man in a uniform, a tall man that's smoking a pipe that has very dark hair. And I said, he tells me his name is Jack. And she nearly fell off her chair. She said, Jack is my husband. And I said, he's got an army uniform. She said, he was killed in the war.
Oh dear.
So Franklin came back, was sitting on Jack's lap, and Jack was the husband. I remember the husband's name. And so Franklin was sitting on his dad's lap.
Well, that was very exciting.
That was very different. So.
And that was just this lady who was babysitting you?
Yeah, she just used to look after me. I didn't know much about her. She used to look after me after school in the afternoon, and then my mum would pick me up about 6 o'clock.
You're only a little girl.
I was about 6.
Gosh.
There again, I thought everybody could do it. So I didn't think I was different.
How did the children at school treat you?
I guess I didn't really show my true colours until much later on in life. I didn't tend to go out and say, I can communicate with people that are passed over or animals that are passed over.
No.
You tend to get on with your life and do normal things, become a mother and, marry and things like that. So you just tend to try and live as much a normal life. I guess I tried to suppress it for a little while, but I always knew that I was different, and for some reason I always knew that I was going to be well known.
And you see people as well?
Absolutely.
As animals?
Absolutely, yeah. It is people that are passed over, animals that are passed over, and animals that are here.
And can you tell me something about an animal? Say we brought an animal in now, and the animal would give you a message for that?
Yeah, there's a German Shepherd around you. Was that connected to your father or grandfather?
No.
It's German Shepherd. Who owns a German Shepherd?
No.
I think that's Monica's one.
Oh, is it?
That's Monica's one, I think.
I just had a German Shepherd come in. Is that Monica's, is it?
I suspect so.
Okay.
Hold on that thought.
Sorry, I haven't even seen what she's written or anything.
No.
I thought it was a Jack Russell she had.
I
think it's... it looks like a German Shepherd.
All right, I'll leave that.
No, we won't do that bit. We'll do about...
the animal communications, I guess I could just sort of describe on how I do it. When someone rings me about an animal with many questions, whether it's missing, ill, behaviour problems, I connect directly to that animal and they tell me what the problem is, what their behaviour problem is, what's the circumstances around it, whether they're missing, whether they're ill, whether they're angry at the owner for something, and what happened when they passed over, all kinds of things. So there's so many reasons why animals and their owners want to communicate with me and will get me to communicate with their pets. And in the end, it ends up giving them a much better relationship with their pets. That's what we find anyway.
Well, that should be probably very helpful. I haven't had an animal for a long time, so we won't talk about me. But you have talked about people as well. You get messages from people.
Yeah, I get a lot of messages. I communicate. I either do what's known as a half and half. So I do a half animal communication, and then I do a person communication or life direction or something like that. Or I'll just do an animal communication with someone, and it's all over the world. I have clients all over the world.
But you have just done all sorts of things, as well as this. You've worked with animals as a profession.
I have.
And you worked with, I believe, the lovely Steve Irvin.
I did. For 2 years I worked with Steve. He was just what you saw on television.
That was him.
That was him. Yeah. He just had such a passion, joy for his animals.
Yeah.
And he didn't worry about the running, the danger. That was left to Terry. She had all the hair pulling and grey hairs and everything about the park. She had the visionary, and he had the talent. So together they made an amazing team. And he was larger than life. He was so passionate about his animals.
Yes, that came
very,
across,
very true.
It?
What you saw was exactly.
And what sort of work did you have to do for him?
I worked with the snakes and the crocodiles.
Snakes and crocodiles?
I did. I worked with the snakes.
They give you messages?
Yeah, get out. Come in here so I can eat you alive, or look at her, I'll chew you a bit. I learnt a lot from him. I was looking after and feeding some of the animals. Gosh, there were so many animals, reptiles and birds and birds of prey and all.
And what about koalas? You worked with them?
I did at Dreamworld.
For a while,
I worked with koalas at Dreamworld for about 5 years.
Dreamworld,
yes,
did you?
with the breeding but I guess the talent really came out sort of probably about 10 or 12 years ago after someone very close to me passed away. So once that